Hi class, this is your maths guide for your home learning for Tuesday, week 4. I'm just going to talk you through because we're going to be moving on to something slightly different today. Still looking at fractions, but just looking at something slightly different, but I'm going to talk us through it. We're going to be looking at finding a fraction of an amount. So how to find a fraction of amount. So in order to calculate the fractions of an amount, you will need to remember two things. Okay, so the denominator is the part of numbers the amount is being divided into, and the numerator is the amount of those parts we need to know about. So I've just got a little diagram on the next slide, which I'm going to show you just so we can refresh. So our numerator is our top number, and in this case it's the 3, and our denominator in this fraction is 5, so it's 3/5. So the numerator is the top number, denominator is the bottom number. So for your first question on your home learning, it's asking you to draw some pictorials of fractions of amount. So this is going to help some of you. So I just wanted to show you a quick run through and a quick example of it. So to answer the question, what is 5/5 of £30? The first thing that we need to do is to divide the amount 30 by the denominator, which in this case is 5, our bottom number, the number of parts. So the calculation that you would need to do is 30 divided by 5. So 30 divided by 5. You can see where it's just come up on the screen where my 30 is in the blue box. That's my total amount. And then I needed to split that into 5 equal parts. So in the orange, I've got 5 equal parts. 30 divided by 5 is £6. So inside each of them, I have £6. The next part that I need to look at, because there's 2 steps to this problem, is that I need to multiply the single part 6 by the numerator, which is our top number, okay, the amount of parts. So it's 6 multiplied by 4, which is equal to 24, okay? So 4/5 of 30 is 24. When you're coming to do this section, the pictorial section, draw your top bar. So in my image, it's a blue bar, which has got £30 because that's the whole. If you look at the question, what is 4/5 of £30? So £30 is my whole. Then you need to divide that down. So underneath, you would need to see what your denominator was, which is your bottom number. Okay, how many parts is there to it? So in this case, it's 5, which is why there is 5 orange boxes. You need to calculate the sum 30 divided by 5, which is 6. Okay, and then the green box on there is our numerator, so the amount of parts that we've got, which is our top number, and in this case it's a 4, so then that's why I have 4 in there. But the total answer is 4/5 of 30 is £24. So the first couple of questions, these ones that are on the screen now, are the questions that you need to be working through. So for question A, you need to do what 1/2 of 14 is. The 14 is going to be your top bar, isn't it? And then you need to divide that by 2, and then you need to multiply it by 1, and that will give you your answer. But we're going to be drawing them out first. If you find the drawing a little bit more tricky and you prefer the formal method, just keep going with the formal method. I'm going to go through and explain that to you next. So we're looking at the formal method of finding a fraction of amount. So for example, you've got a similar question to this on your home learning this week for today, but Miss Cook's been a little bit sneaky and I've changed some of the figures around, so you need to pay attention so that you're able to answer your example. So a bag of apples weighs 20 kilograms and Jasmine takes 1/5 of the apples. So the question is, how much do her apples weigh? So how much do 1/5 of the apples weigh? So step 1, the first thing that I need to do is I need to do 20 because that's my total amount. There are 20 kilograms of apples and I need to divide it by 5 because 5 is our denominator. It is the bottom number in our fraction. And the answer to that is 4. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Step 2. I need to be looking. So my next step is 4 multiplied by 1 equals 4 because we already know that one part of it is 4. And then I need to look at my numerator, which is the section that we multiply. So I only have 1 in my top number. So I need to do 4 times 1 equals 4. So the answer is 4 kilograms because we always need to make sure that we're including our unit in there. And in this case, we're looking at kilograms because we're looking at the weight of apples. I've got another quick example for you on the next slide that we can have a look at, which shows us a different number as our numerator. So a bag of apples weighs 20 kilograms, but Jasmine takes 2/5 of the apples this time. So how much do her apples weigh? So step 1 would be 20 divided by 5 because 20 is my whole, but I want to know what 5 parts of that is. So it's going to be 4 as the whole. And then step 2 is 4 multiplied by 2, which is equal to 8 because 2 is my top number of the fraction. So I need to do 4 multiplied by 2 equals 8. So the answer is 8 kilograms. Another question, you have a money question before this one, but that's going to be quite simple for you to do. You just need to calculate what the coins are and how you're going to divide that up. I just wanted to do a little recap on these questions just to making sure that we remember what the signs mean. So obviously the arrow pointing that way means less than. If it's pointing the other way, it's more than. And then obviously the equal sign means that it's equal to. So you're going to have to calculate what the fractions of the amount are for each of these numbers to work out which sign or symbol that you are going to need to use for the maths questions on this page. I've just realised, and I thought to myself, if you're struggling with some of this, what we need to make sure that we're doing is that we're using the pause button during these videos. So it'll really be able to help us. So just put it on a pause, have a look at the examples that I've done, or just keep replaying them for you. Or if you do have any questions or you're really struggling with it, make sure that you join in one of the 2 available Zoom sessions at 11:30 or 2:45. I am really sorry that I couldn't make it to yesterday's Zoom meetings because I am helping out in another school at the moment. If I am able to get there, I promise you I'm going to try and get there as much as I possibly can because I really miss seeing all of your faces. I hope you have a lovely day and I will try and catch up with you soon. Take care.